it's Dean here, and we are here for another Maverrik Live, and I have the socially distanced
Luke too. Sorry, the noise had to travel across the rooms.
So today we're going to be talking about planning and how you can build an effective plan, some of the things that go wrong. And sometimes people build plans that are totally impossible, right, Luke?
Yeah, well, they're planning for ages and ages and ages. They don't implement it, and it just turns out to be the wrong plan. So that's why planning is useless, when you get the wrong one.
Yes, and talking about that, Luke, one of the funny things that people do, and I see this all the time, and in fact, I had a conversation with somebody a couple of days ago, is we've got this plan of what we're going to do, and we're going to get leads, and we're going to get sales, and then they totally ignore following up on any leads and sales.
So they have just planned for ages and ages how to get there,
It's like
and then they sort of chuck it out the window, go, "That's fine."
Yeah, it's like they're in love with the plan more than actually doing it.
Yeah, I've seen that loads of times with some people, so especially when it comes to LinkedIn strategy, and they'll say, "Oh, we'll do posting this at a time and this time and this time." They have all the plan out, and they love doing it. They love filling out the little marks. They love highlighting things, but then they just don't do it.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Or part of the sometimes why people fall apart on social media is they make something that they can't possibly sustain.
Yeah, I've seen that before as
well. We go live 3 times a week. We could try and go live every day of the week, but we've got other things to do.
Yeah, if we're just doing our lives, how are we actually going to
do anything
that we said we were going to do?
And I think sometimes, it's a bit like, oh, let's do video content on social media. Unless you can devote a team of people to it, making original videos all the time, it's totally unsustainable, right?
Yeah, we do say you can get quality and quantity, but when you're just too busy focused on how you're going to achieve that without just, achieving it, then you're kind of just planning to fail in a sense.
So, Luke, is it better to have a plan that stretches you, a plan that you can totally 100% fulfill, or a totally wild plan that seems literally impossible? I know I'm asking you stupid questions here, but
I feel like you need to have a flexible plan. You have a plan that challenges you to start with, but then you need to make it shape your world and what you do. I feel like after a couple weeks of trying to get that plan, if it's crushing you, you need to change it. If it feels too easy, don't fall into it, because otherwise you're not going to achieve as much as you can. So it's like having a flexible plan, but then it's also making sure that you're sticking to it and you're actually following what you said you were going to do. So I would say it's a level of overachieving, but also, what's the word? Reviewing what you're doing as well.
Yeah. I think as well, one of the things I see a lot is that this, whether it be a plan for sales growth, whether it be a plan to just, get more leads, whatever you're building and developing, you have to let everybody in the organization or involved in that understand why this bit matters.
Yeah.
Because what you end up with otherwise is silo thinking, where I've done my bit and I've done my bit, but actually those bits don't actually connect.
Yeah, it's the plan where it breaks down of just, it's the stepping stones, and they're on their step, but they don't know why, they need to keep pushing it along.
Yeah, and often in, businesses, you have, the marketing department doing something, the salespeople doing something, and even, planning sales and marketing together, is something a lot of bigger businesses don't do.
It's in 2 separate rooms.
Yeah, it's 2 separate rooms, 2 separate conversations. And, the amount of, I can remember going on a call whereby this company was generating tons of leads. The sales team was saying the leads were rubbish. And the marketing team was saying the salespeople are rubbish. And literally it was like, there's something wrong here. But the sales and marketing departments are often, marketing has their plan, we write our plan, sales does their plan, and marketing's producing things that don't help the salespeople, and the salespeople are doing things totally out of alignment of what the marketing team's doing.
Yeah, so you need to have both people understanding the plan and also knowing why the plan exists in the first place.
Now, in a big business, the challenge with joining sales and marketing together is, bluntly, the politics. There's so much politics involved that actually your plan has to stick over here and that has to stay in that box. But actually doing business and being out there selling and promoting what you do doesn't sit nicely in a box.
Yeah, because marketing isn't sales, sales isn't marketing, but you need a synergy there.
You need it. Otherwise, you end up with a salesperson who's a lone ranger, literally going out there, trying to sell, with not really understanding. And I'm not being critical of marketing people because, you know, there are good marketing people, but they end up with materials that don't help them sell.
Yeah, or there's a very distinct gap between the messaging as well.
Yeah,
and that can confuse anyone's trying to come in and, you know, be a part of the business, because like, oh, one person said this thing, one person trying to sell me something else, and you're thinking, you know, as a client or a customer, you're thinking, well, why have I come here? I've come here for this reason, and this person's trying to tell me something else. You know, It's just a big old muddly mess.
So, if you're planning out the rest of the year, perhaps your plans change because of, you know, well, lots of people's plans have changed the last 18 months or whatever it is. But if you're planning it, you really need to join up marketing and sales. If they're not joined up, you're kind of just going to be throwing money at the wall, hoping some of it sticks. You'll have really pretty materials that salespeople won't use, or you'll have salespeople going rogue and making their own stuff, which can be interesting.
So have a complete plan, no matter how you're doing it.
And breaking silos within an organization, whether it be, you know, the marketing and the sales department or different teams within the sales department, really matters that everybody understands.
That could be a whole nother Maverrik Live. That could be, couldn't it? How to break down those two, you know, they're very set in their own path, parts of the company, and smashing them together.
Yeah. And if you don't have those two things functioning together, you end up with a very messy thing. And some marketing people will be watching this going, is he advocating abolishing marketing? No, but I am saying that maybe what you have to do, what we've seen is all the successful companies have integrated sales and marketing. They work so closely together, and that doesn't come by just deciding it. You have to actually build a plan that they will work together, that the politics will not get in the way, because there is a lot of politics between sales and marketing. Yeah,
key to a lot of the plan is communication. That's a big old step for it. So making sure that's refined and it works is top notch.
Well, so whatever you're doing with your plan, whatever you're doing to grow revenue, if that's what you want to do, you've got to have something that you can do daily. It's no good just having a strategy, because a strategy needs legs, it needs hands, it needs feet, it needs to be implemented. And that's really where you pull everything together and go, we're going to go in this direction. And everybody knows their part, everybody's on board, everybody understands what's required of them so that you can actually get there. I know, for an example, Luke, and I'm sure you'll be keen to admit this, is often one of my biggest problems is I keep a lot of my thought processes in my head.
Yeah, I've decided this now, I've done this now. and to us it's sometimes like, oh wow.
So one of the things I have to do is actually go, this is what I'm doing and why, so that everybody around me can understand this is why I'm doing the crazy things that I'm doing. Yeah,
it's putting the why first before they're just doing, because a lot of the time it's the doing and then we learn the why.
And that's where people's morale breaks down, I think, when they don't understand why they're doing something, or they don't feel like their bit plays a part.
Yeah, if you feel like you're not pushing something along, then you kind of just are in your own little island, just placing coconuts on some sand, and you're thinking, well, is anyone actually, you know, reading what I'm doing?
Yeah, and then the whole morale comes apart and people don't see the need for their bit.
Exactly.
They don't see how it affects everybody else and how integral it is to all you want to achieve for the next year.
Oh, yeah. So thanks for coming down. I had to drag you from some calls on this one.
Yes, I showed up a little bit late, so we're a little bit late on today because I was on a call with a client, talking about plans actually. Yeah. but you'd really just have to have something, even if it is, and I've said this to people and they look horrified, having a one-page plan, as we call it, and in fact, we've got one on our website, a one-page plan you can download, and just having simple goals. This is what we're trying to achieve. This is what we're going to do. Even in a simple format is better than just making it up as you go along every day, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And you'd be surprised how many businesses make it up as they go along and then wonder why they don't seem to get any further forward.
Yeah, or they actually get some success and then they have no idea how they can replicate it because they're just like, oh, it worked. What do we do?
Or they don't know which bit worked.
Exactly. So then they have to try it again and then maybe it doesn't work that time. And then they just go mad because they have no idea what worked.
Yeah. So that's short and sweet from us today, I think. But it's really important if you're not sure where to start with a plan, go on our website, go in the search bar, one-page plan. It's a really simple document you can download to help you get some activities going, get some things going, but keep it in a space where you can remember and call yourself to account for what you're going to do if you're on that kind of wing it kind of camp. And if you're on the other side, you probably need to stop planning and actually start implementing. I don't know, some people get so held up on the beauty of a plan, right, Luke?
Yeah, they just love the ticking the boxes, but they don't actually love doing the things.
Yeah. I remember visiting one company and they said, we've got amazing strategy. It was a huge document and nobody had a clue what was in it. But, it's important to have that balance, and importantly, that whatever plan you have, you actually do something with it. Anyway, that's all from us today. Short and sweet, but have a plan, do something with it, work on it, and improve it as you go. From me, Dean Seddon.
And myself, Luke, too.
Au revoir.